At 4 a.m., my phone vibrated, cutting through the quiet like an alarm, and when I reached for it, groggy and disoriented, the screen displayed a text from my wife. Something urgent came up, don't worry, I'll clarify soon. My stomach sank instantly. No one sends a message like that at 4 a.m. unless something's seriously wrong, or they're somewhere they shouldn't be. Without thinking, I fired back, no need to clarify, enjoy your time with him, you're free now, and sent it before I could reconsider. Hey viewers, before we dive deeper into this story, please hit that subscribe button and give a thumbs up if you want more tailies like this. The room fell silent except for the thudding of my pulse in my chest. We'd been married for 5 years, and for most of that time, things felt solid. But lately, something was off. Late nights at the office. New colleagues I'd never met, private jokes I wasn't in on. One name kept popping up, a guy from her workplace. She called him harmless, said I was reading too much into it. But a 4 a.m. text about something urgent doesn't feel harmless. I sat in the dark, replaying every odd moment from recent weeks. Her phone always face down now. A scent of perfume I didn't recognize. Long showers right after she got home late. My mind raced, conjuring 100 grim possibilities. Then the doorbell shattered the silence. Once, twice, rapid and urgent. My blood roared in my ears. I knew it was her. For a moment, I thought about ignoring it, letting her feel the dread I was drowning in, but anger and curiosity pulled me to the door. When I opened it, there she was, hair disheveled, mascara streaked, tears pouring. Please let me tell you what happened, she sobbed, her voice trembling. I didn't budge. Where were you? I demanded. Who were you with? She shook her head, shaking. I was helping a friend, he called in a panic. I didn't want to disturb you. That explanation felt hollow. My chest tightened. Show me your phone, I said. She paused but then unlocked it and handed it over. The texts were there, a guy I vaguely recalled meeting once. He'd messaged her at 3:30 a.m. I'm sorry, I didn't know who else to reach out to. Her reply, I'm coming, stay put. Then I saw the message that stopped me cold, don't tell him yet. I looked at her, eyes narrowing. What's this mean? She faltered. It's not what it looks like, I meant don't wake you. I didn't want to stress you until I was back, she added quickly, her voice breaking. I wasn't convinced. No one writes that at 4 a.m. unless they're hiding something. I scrolled further. The guy said his fiancée had thrown him out after an argument, that he was stranded in a pharmacy lot with nowhere to go. She claimed she just picked him up, drove him to his brother's place, and came straight home. Maybe it was true, maybe not, but trust doesn't survive on a text explanation. Why didn't you call me first? I asked. Because I knew you'd assume exactly what you're assuming now, she cried. He needed help, I was just trying to do the right thing. I wanted to believe her, I really did, but that message, don't tell him yet, kept gnawing at me. I dialed the number from her chat. A tired male voice answered, confirming she dropped him off. He sounded sincere. My anger wavered for a second, but the wound was already there. Truth and trust aren't the same. I gave her back the phone. I don't know what to believe, I said quietly. Even if you didn't do anything wrong, you made it seem like you did. She nodded, tears falling harder. I'll prove it to you. I'll do whatever it takes, she pleaded. But I just stood there empty. Dawn's first light slipped through the blinds, casting a gray haze. I told her I needed time, that I couldn't talk now. As I walked away, she whispered, please don't leave me. I paused in the hallway. I'm still here, I said, but I don't know for how long. That's how the night ended, not with clarity or forgiveness, just a heavy silence between two people who realized how fragile love can be. I opened the door and there she was in the dim hallway glow, soaked in tears, her breath ragged like she'd sprinted miles. Just hear me out, she begged, her voice cracking. I stayed silent. My heart pounded, but my face remained expressionless. Give me your phone, I said flatly. She froze, gripping it tightly. It's private, it's not what you think, she stammered, my jaw clenched. Private. You text someone at 4 a.m., tell me not to worry and call it private. She stepped back, trembling. Please, it's complicated, she said. I stared at her. In that silence, I recalled the first time I'd noticed an unfamiliar number on her phone months ago, late at night. A moment you try to dismiss but can't. She'd said it was just a coworker discussing work. I'd trusted her, stupidly. Who is it? I asked. She swallowed hard. An old friend, she said. He was in trouble tonight, needed help. His fiancée kicked him out. He had nowhere to go. I laughed bitterly. At 4 a.m. and you just decided to play savior. He was having a panic attack, she said, crying harder. I didn't know what else to do. Her voice broke, hands shaking as she tried to explain the inexplicable. Why didn't you tell me? I snapped. Why hide it? Why lie? She shook her head. Because I knew you'd think exactly what you're thinking now. My anger surged. You're damn right I'd think it. Because you made it look like you're sneaking around. She reached for my arm, but I pulled back. Don't, I said sharply. You don't get to cry your way out of this. She wiped her face, whispering, you don't understand. I couldn't ignore him. He was my friend before we met. I stared at her silent, then took the phone from her hand and unlocked it. She didn't resist. The screen glowed and I scrolled through the messages, my pulse racing with every word. There it was again, don't tell him yet. The words seared into me. I turned the screen toward her. Explain this, I said coldly. She shook her head, sobbing. I swear it's not what it seems. I meant don't wake you. I didn't want to upset you, she said, her voice breaking. At 4 a.m. you're worried about my sleep, I shouted. That's your excuse. She collapsed then, knees weak, voice trembling so much she could barely speak. I just didn't think. He was crying, said he might do something drastic. I panicked. I didn't know how to tell you without it looking bad. Her words spilled out, one after another, like someone racing to outrun the truth. But all I could picture was her in a car with another man, her phone glowing, me asleep at home like a fool. You lied, I said quietly. She froze. No, I didn't. You did, I said. Maybe not about what happened, but about how you handled it. You lied by keeping it from me. She looked shattered, eyes wide, wet, desperate. Please, I'm telling you everything. I just wanted to help him. I thought you'd be angry, so I didn't say anything. I shook my head slowly. You were right about that, I said. She covered her face, sobbing uncontrollably. For a moment, I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. Then that message flashed in my mind again, don't tell him yet, and any sympathy hardened into resolve. You could have called me, I said, voice low. You could have told me where you were going. Instead, you sent a text that made it sound like you were betraying me. She dropped her hands, looked at me through tears. I swear nothing happened. I helped him, dropped him off, came back to explain. Explain what? I said. How you broke 5 years of trust in one night. She flinched like I'd struck her. The silence was heavier than any argument. Finally, I exhaled, the fire in my voice fading, but not my heart. I can't do this right now, I said. I don't even know who you are. She reached out one last time. Please don't leave like this, she whispered. I looked at her, the woman I thought I knew, and said quietly, I don't know if I'll ever trust you again. Then I turned, grabbed my coat, and walked out. I heard her sob as the door clicked shut, like the final note of something that used to be love. I left the apartment and drove aimlessly, just empty streets and streetlights passing like faint shadows. My phone buzzed constantly, calls, texts, voicemails I couldn't face. I ended up parked by the river, engine off, the silence so thick it felt alive. My mind was a whirlwind. Every word she said, every text I read, every detail replaying endlessly. Part of me wanted to believe it was a misunderstanding. Another part whispered that trust doesn't break by mistake, it shatters because someone lets it fall. The sun was rising when I checked my phone again. One unread message from her. Please come home, I'll tell you everything. I ignored it. Hours passed before I drove back. The apartment felt different, colder, smaller somehow. She was on the couch, still in the same clothes, eyes puffy. When I walked in, she stood, voice trembling. I told you the truth, she said. I stared at her. Then why does it still feel like a lie? She took a breath. Because you don't trust me anymore. You're right, I said quietly. I don't, she started crying again. I can prove it, I can call him right now, I sighed. That's not the issue, it's not about him, it's about us and how one text ruined everything. She nodded slowly, tears falling. I know. I was foolish, I was scared you'd think the worst, and I made it happen. I sat down, drained. What do you want me to do? I asked. Pretend it didn't happen? No, she said softly. Just don't give up on us yet. I didn't respond. She handed me her phone again, open, unlocked, everything laid bare. I scrolled through her texts, photos, call logs, nothing damning. Just a messy trail of panic, confusion, and poor decisions. I believed the facts, but not the story. There's a difference. I could see the truth, but the trust was gone. Days passed, we barely talked. She tried cooking, texting, small gestures, but everything felt strained. I'd look at her and see both the woman I loved and the stranger who'd texted me. Something urgent came up. Don't worry. I'll clarify soon. That message haunted me. One night I finally said it aloud. I don't even care if you cheated. What kills me is that for 20 minutes I believed you did. She looked up, tears in her eyes. Then what do we do now? I shook my head. I don't know, maybe we need time apart. Do you still love me? She asked quietly. I hesitated. Yes, but love isn't enough without trust. She broke down again, and I just sat there, staring at the floor, wishing I could rewind to the night before that text. The next morning, I packed a bag. She didn't stop me. Is this goodbye? She asked, voice shaking. I looked at her for a long moment. I don't know, I said honestly. Maybe it's just a break. I left the keys on the table and walked out. The hallway felt endless but lighter somehow. Outside, the city was stirring, cars humming, people hurrying to work, the world acting like nothing had changed. I looked at the pale sky and thought about everything. How love can weather storms but not secrets. How silence can hurt more than betrayal. I don't know if we'll fix this, I don't even know if we should. But one thing I learned that night, trust doesn't vanish loudly. It slips away quietly, one unanswered text at a time. What do you think of this story? Share your thoughts in the comments. Hit like and don't forget to subscribe for more real-life stories.